I'm President and CEO of LDI Color Toolbox, and I want to officially welcome you to, now I guess this is our fifth Green Up event. This one particularly revolving around managed print services and a leadership forum.
And thank you for coming here. Thanks for coming to LDI. We consult for companies all over the country in the imaging space. So, it could be a VAR, evaluated reseller, could be a print company, could be a copier company, and LDI is certainly known nationally as innovators in the space. Get a lot of press in our industry for the things that they do. So it's really nice to be here. For those of you on Twitter, feel free to tweet about this at my LDI event using the hashtag LDI GreenUp, so everyone can follow you. Right, get the other information as far as Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. There's also going to be demos going on in the beautiful showroom overlooking Times Square there. HP ePrint, their new open extensible platform, and then LDI's assessment tool if you want to get better perspective of what goes on in assessment. Actually, all three of these demos are on some pretty neat technology. So, while you're enjoying some drinks or food out there, I'd encourage you to look at those. Right, so kind of to Jerry's point, what is MPS? Because today, everybody says they're in it. And it's funny, I have literally, I've been at industry events where I hear, folks like Jerry that own dealerships, and one of them, Jerry would certainly never do this, he laughs like me, but one guy telling another guy, oh yeah, I've been in MPS since the 1980s. You know what I'm saying? I think, what, are you kidding me? So, we didn't even have digital products in the 80s. So what is MPS, right? First of all, it's a services-led offering. That's the most important thing. It's not come in, throw all your hardware out, and buy new hardware. That's not MPS. Service-led offering that helps you solve your pain, your end users, typically around the management, cost, and document processes by delivering continuous improvement. So I think the services-led continuous improvement are the two most important aspects. We'll touch on that, particularly around the organization's document and output environment. Right, so what could it include? So there's companies out there, pure copier companies, like, I was in the 90s. That's all there was in the 90s, right? Who, to them, MPS is come in, throw out all your printers, buy copiers. Right, there's printer-made companies, so I'm not talking at the OEM scale like an HP, I'm talking a printer distributor, who to them MPS is we wrap service into a cartridge and you get service along with the cartridge and it's MPS. Most start with some type of assessment, most include maintenance, most have remote diagnostics, but really for MPS to be effective, for it to be more than simply taking the support of your printers and moving to somebody else, you need to have all these aspects, particularly the change management and the optimization over time. And I'll get into some examples. So from your side, if we look at it from an end user side, what pain points are we trying to resolve? First of all, most companies, how many in here are in IT? Okay, so 25%. So we find most companies, the IT folks don't have enough time in the day. Right? There's bigger projects, they're doing a BI project, a virtualization project, working on security. There's just not enough time in the day, yet they have to reactively respond to printer issues. So it frees up IT time to work on projects that could have a positive effect on your business. Can help you grow revenue, right? Provides a holistic view of the imaging and print fleet. So, over time, I think it's funny that you have such a simple process, right? Putting ink on paper. And if you ever step back and looked at it, you probably have 6 or 7 different vendors. You're buying cartridges from one person, somebody else is doing the service, you're buying printers from somebody, copiers from somebody else. Yet, for other areas, for your server room, maybe you have 1 or 2 vendors. Something as simple as printers are 6 or 7, so you don't have a view of what are we really spending? Is there a better way of doing this? And I'll show you later on how things are changing, how print patterns are changing, so it's really beneficial to have somebody overlooking all of that, right? provide end users with required functionality at lowest lifetime cost of ownership. You probably do this today. Most companies do. And what it looks like is there's a credenza in the hall, and it has a fax, a printer, an MFD, and a scanner on it. Don't you have that in your office? Right? Because what happens is, over time, your end users come to you and say, well, hey, we need to scan now. So, you already had the fax and the printer there, and you go out and you buy a scanner, and then, purchasing, how many are in purchasing in here? Purchasing, the copier guy sells them the MFP, even though, IT already has the scanner and the printer there. So, hey, it's important to get that functionality closest to the end user, but do it at the lowest total cost of ownership. Reduce quantity of vendors, hopefully you reduce those to LDI, but, get it down from, hey, we're putting marks on paper. We should be able to do that with one vendor, maybe two. We shouldn't need 5 or 6 vendors to put marks on paper, right? These next ones are a little wild for a company that really sells prints, but reduced quantity of imaging and print devices, right? So you shouldn't have those 4 devices on your credenza when, with today's technology, you could do that with one. Lower your carbon footprint, lower your electrical use, lower your capital requirements, right? And have all the functionality in one device, and they're dependable. It's not like I need 4 different devices because they break all the time. Believe it or not, reduce prints. So, hey, why are we even printing it? Why aren't we doing it digitally? Right? So technology has dropped substantially. I don't see anybody in here, maybe there are. But, if I was going to deploy a digitized document strategy 10 years ago, I had to buy everybody laptops at $4,000 or $5,000 a piece, right? What do I get them today? My IT guys, what do I buy them today? iPads, right? For $700 a piece, right? So a lot less expensive. And then the back end of that, the softwares, so the workflow softwares, everything has decreased rapidly. So I'm going to make a point here, and I'll make it throughout the presentation. One of the biggest issues there is cultural change, and that's why we say it's services-led that you optimize afterwards. So you start with just an agreement to outsource the support of your fleet with the goal, through working with you, of finding areas we can help you with as we move downstream. If you came in and tried to change too much at once, your end users you'd hear nothing but complaints, right? We realize that. Obviously, we work in companies ourselves. So we work with you over time to slowly change that culture at a level that your organization can sustain, that you're comfortable with. And then reduce carbon footprint, which, a lot of companies want to do themselves, and then a lot of companies who are responding to RFPs need to demonstrate that they're reducing their footprint.